Hello and welcome to Coffee with the Librarians, week of December 18th. I know very little about what is going to be said today. I was just given one word and asked to trust and tune in. So I am, and hopefully I will not cough my brains out this week. Okay, the word that I was given was expectancy. And I'm not really clear why. So let's go in. Okay, what they're saying is we don't expect a lot. We actually, as humans, don't expect a lot. And from their side, looking in on us, it's weird what we expect and what we don't expect. And the image they're giving me, I don't understand this yet. The image they're giving me is, I don't even remember, hourglass. That's the word, the hourglass. And they're saying our expectations are like an hourglass that I don't totally understand this, that we have all of these expectations up here in the top part of the hourglass that are big, grand, glorious. I'm going to be president. I'm going to be famous. We have all of these huge expectations up here. And then it funnels down to who we are, but we don't really expect them. We expect them, but we don't really expect them. They're like these huge expectations that they're beyond dreams. There's like a part of us. They're saying that there's truly a part of us, so many of us that think like, I'm going to be a bazillionaire and I'm going to be president and I'm going to change so many of us really, really think that. We don't admit it, but we think it. So there's like this big bulb of expectations that so many of us have that are way out there, that are way high, way extreme. And then it funnels into our little reality. And then we've got this bulb down here, and that our expectations down here is kind of where we live. And we live in this really low place. There's like a hair that's always driving me crazy when I do this, that we live in this really low place of expectations. Though down here, we have really negative beliefs about each other, about the world, about society. Like we really don't have faith in our fellow man. We really don't have faith in our bosses, our corporations, our government. Like we don't have a lot of faith. We don't have any expectations that things are going to turn out well. Yet at the same time, we have this big bulb of expectations up here being like, I'm going to be famous. And it's weird because they're showing me that we hold both of those simultaneously, and then that we sit at that meeting point, and that we sit at that meeting point, and then we're kind of stuck, that we're caught between these two bulbous extremes, and we have weird expectations. And when they say when they look in on us, they don't understand. There's never any criticism of us. We need to start with that. There's never criticism of us. It's just that they don't understand it. And they see this big bulb, and it's like, why is it not more like a tube? Why don't we have realistic, and I hate that word, but realistic expectations in this mid-range also? Because when we have more realistic, accessible is a better word than realistic, accessible expectations, we need to have, that's it. We need to have more accessible expectations to balance things out. And instead, we live in these polarities, we live in these extremes, and it pinches us off in the middle, just like the hourglass. It pinches us off to have too good and then no faith, pinches us off in the middle. And we need to broaden that midpoint and collapse in a little bit on the ends. We need to think higher of our fellow man, of all humanity, of our institutions, and I'm giving a little pushback on that, and I'll explain that in a minute. But we need to have more trust have more faith and more trust in humans, in systems, and in each other. And we need to have less expectancy about our own glory. Because when they say, when you really move into that big bulb on top, that I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be famous, I'm going to save the world, all of those like big dreams, they say they're actually true for very few people, because most people don't really have the passion around that. Most people like it because it looks good and it's an ego-based desire. And they are also saying, yet there are some people that truly have a big enough desire to serve. They're just asking you to lean into that for yourself. If you want to be, I want to be a famous movie star, something like that. What is your big reason around that? Because most people don't really have a thought around that. Most people just are like, that's so cool. I want to be a big movie star. I want to own the world. Most people don't really have thought behind that. And having dreams that are while no dream is too big, having dreams that are too big because they're not resonant with who you are debilitating. And they cut off your ability to trust yourself and to manifest, because when your dream is to be a famous movie star, but that's not really your dream, and then your focus is on that, then it's so easy to become bitter and hardened and angry, because you see other people then reaching your dream, but it's not really your dream. So they're saying rein in those dreams that are not really yours. Fill out the dreams that are more accessible right now. And have more faith in people. Let people make their own decisions. They're showing me within our country, like the homeless. Yes, there are some homeless that are people who are really in a bad situation and they want out. And there are people who are choosing that. And no, they don't choose every aspect of homelessness, but there are people who choose it and there's people who don't choose it. And to not have the judgment of people who choose it, and to not have the people who don't choose it who are there, to let people have their dreams, their choices, because they're saying that even can be a dream for some people. So to get out of that muck, to give people more agency, more freedom, and then to drop out of that ego place of wanting things that you don't really want because they sound good, or because you think you're supposed to do it because it shows how powerful you are or what a big manifester you are. They're saying with money, so often people are manifesting millions, but they don't really want millions. They don't need millions. They don't want millions. It's not what they want. It's just that they get locked into the abundances having millions. And then the dream is not theirs, and then it pinches you off in the middle. So by being more realistic on the top and the bottom, by going for what's accessible, you are able to get more of what you want. And what they're saying is when you go for what's accessible, then you can rise up the tube easier. This is a lot. I will see you next week. Have a great week.